Welcome to the Future of Real Estate. I'm Brett Ellis of the Ellis team at RE/MAX Realty Group. I'm joined today by my mother, Sandy Ellis. Sandy, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks, Brett.
Now, if you haven't joined us before, you're in for a real treat. On this show, we talk about real estate issues affecting you. Don't forget our website, www.topagent.com. Now, if you ever want to call and talk to us, you can always reach us at 239-489-4042. This week, we thought we would update you on what's really going on, kind of a state of the market kind of a thing. And the Florida Association of Realtors just released their official Florida figures. So what I want to do is, Sandy, is go to second quarter results. And in the red here is the second quarter line. Now, if you look at this, we are second best of all-time record. You hear everyone telling about how bad the market is. But for the second quarter of 2010, we almost an all-time record. And if you look back at the first quarter, it was an all-time record. So 2010 was very strong in the first quarter, and we're still holding tough in the second quarter.
Well, don't you think, Brett, some of that was from the pent-up demand and also from the tax credit that we had? I think some of that, people were sort of on the fence. I think let's do it. Let's do it now.
Well, but in addition to home buyers, we also had some investors that were also buying. So they were kind of competing with the home buyers. And unfortunately, we did lose the $8,000 tax credit, but that's not the end of the world. And
well, you know what? We kind of, even in our ad recently, we've been talking about why it really wasn't the end of the world, because on a 30-year loan, the interest rate has come down so much that we put it in the ad that there's 54,612 reasons why you're better off. And in other words, it's $54,612 that you save over a 30-year period.
Well, let's explain why. Back when we had the $8,000 tax credit, I think interest rates were around 5.5%. They've come down to about 4.25% right now.
Yeah, none of us knew that.
No, we didn't know it. We thought, $8,000 tax credit expiring.
That's good.
There's less incentive for people to buy. What we found is, man, at 4.25%, we really should be buying all we can.
Yeah,
I think the problem is,
years has it been? 50 years maybe since you had a rate that low. Yeah.
It's never been this low. So that's one thing. Now, let's look at some of the other graphs here. So activity's up, but let's look at sale prices. Now, in the blue section is last year's prices, and you can see we started to see a gradual rise going into 2010. In 2010, we saw kind of a sharp increase. Our prices right now are about 10% over what they were last year, and they're pretty much steady within like $600 or $300, I think, of the previous month. So we'll call that steady. But we're about 10% over last year. So the real question is going to be, what happens later in the year? Because if we hold steady, we're going to draw a line like this. We're going to be about even where we were at the end of last year. So the question is, are we going to see this trend up? We're going to see it trend down or kind of hold steady? But the good news is transactions are there and prices are holding steady, if not much higher than where they were when they started the year. So I think that's good news.
Well, that's definitely good news. And of course, we're just going to continue to graph it and see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, all we can do is tell you what we think is going to happen and then report on what did happen.
And a little bit of what we hope will happen.
Now, we showed you a quarter-by-quarter graph. Let's look at a monthly graph here. In red, we've got the 2010 up here. So we are pretty much, in the first quarter, we set record levels. Even back in 2005, which isn't on here, but they weren't this high. So we're starting to kind of plunge under the 2009 levels, but we're still right up there in the stratosphere. So it's going to be interesting to see how sales. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see them trail off because I've been tracking the pending sales, and they've been down a little bit.
So why do you think that is, Brett?
Well, it could be because the expiration, you had to buy with that tax credit by April 30th and then close by June. Now they've extended the closing time, but you don't get an extension of when you had to be under contract by the April 30th. So it could be some of that. I also think nationwide sales are down. I was just talking to Rick Edler in Palos Verdes, California last night, and he said July 15th, the phone stopped. He said, matter of fact, they're coming to the office now, and they're checking to see if they paid their phone bill, if there's a dial tone. It just stopped.
Wow.
And that's kind of a scary thing. And I've talked to agents all over the country who have noticed a slowdown, and I talked to agents around here that have said, it slowed down starting about 2 weeks before Memorial Day. So
I'm not sure that we're experiencing that slowdown, though. I guess sometimes it's because we don't choose to participate in a slowdown. But our phones are still ringing. People are still calling. They're calling on properties. So, you know, we'll just have to be checking those numbers too.
it can be an aberration
Yeah.
because I think people perceive the market depending on how their own personal success is. You know, I remember the 2 weeks before Memorial Day, our phones were kind of dead and didn't seem a whole lot going on. But right now, our phones are been kind of busy. We're getting a lot of web traffic and we're getting a lot of contracts on our properties. So if you ask me, the market's kind of good right now.
Yeah.
If you'd
right.
asked me maybe, you know, last 2 weeks of May, I might not have gave the same answer just because it's your own personal situation. But I don't know, it just seems like numbers are pretty darn good. They might not be at record levels, but they're at near record levels. And we're just going to kind of have to keep an eye on it and see how the rest of the summer goes.
That's true. And we still have a wonderful climate, you know. The
Where do we
sunshine.
stand on the flood insurance? Have you heard on that?
Well, they're back on with flood insurance, and some people are petitioning Congress that, you know, they make it for like a 5-year term or something so that, you know, every few months we don't go through the same up and downs, you know.
It's really something.
frustrating, yeah.
We do need a permanent solution to the flood insurance.
That's correct.
What else is happening in real estate? Anything else you can think of?
Well, it's just been kind of an exciting marketplace. You know, it's a lot of properties on the market, a lot of interesting properties on the market. And,
Well, I can tell you with us, we've landed the Fannie Mae account,
yeah.
which is the Federal National Mortgage Association or something like that. So we are getting that, and we've landed another bank account. So we are getting a lot more of the bank foreclosures. And the HUD account, I think we're working on that. We may get that as well. So we've got, you know, the Bank of America, Fannie Mae, I think working on Chase. We're getting Chase, and as well as the HUD account. So it's kind of exciting. And we've got other asset management companies like LPS, Fidelity, Integrated Asset Services, and a few others. So
Well, and not only that, Brett, we have a lot of wonderful, just normal type listings out there. We've always had kind of the best in terms of listings. Really nice product, good people to work with, and so call us. Whatever your needs are, give us a call.
But
We probably have it.
this last week, we had 4 of these listings come up, and we sold all 4 of them
Yeah. Yeah.
this week.
Yeah.
So actually, they came on last week, and we've got a bunch more coming. So
And we've got some NCUA properties. And the interesting thing about those is that, you know, we have the owner financing with them, and it's just about at market rate, and they're beautiful properties that have never been lived in. Just awesome.
well, I guess the moral of the story is if you're looking for a bargain in Southwest Florida, we have them. They are priced right. All our normal properties that aren't short sales and they're not foreclosures, we price them right too.
And they're selling, yeah.
If
Yeah.
we don't price them right, they're not going to sell. So we price them right. But we've got a lot of varied products. I mean, we're getting one out in Sanibel, out in Captiva, actually.
Captiva, yeah.
We just won an Eagle Ridge, although I just put that under contract, in the golf course. We're getting some nice higher end properties, some foreclosures, some regular sales. It doesn't matter. We're getting a lot of neat stuff, and we're moving it. If you're looking for a bargain, we've got the bargains. We've got the low interest rates at 4.25%, record lows. It's really a perfect storm to buy right now. Just like 2005 was a perfect storm probably not to buy, and we kind of told people, hey, might not be the best time to buy. Well, now we're telling people now may be the best time, and but history will tell.
History will definitely tell it, and we'll have another graph for them to see.
All right. Well, you've been watching The Future of Real Estate presented by the Ellis team at RE/MAX. Remember, you can always call us at 239-489-4042. You can visit our website at topagent.com. From there, we've got links to our Facebook fan pages, to our Twitter accounts, to our YouTube channel. You can watch this video and lots of others. You can search the entire MLS for free. We've got virtual tours on our properties. Next week, we plan on bringing you some of our hot properties. The problem is we're selling them faster. We list them and they're gone, and we intend to bring them to you here, but we've already got contracts on them. So we've chosen maybe not to bring some of those pending properties to you. So next week, we hope to have some we can actually share with you on video. So we look forward to seeing you next week, and stay tuned.